today we saw some young persons marching the streets as well as labor union, organized labor. Those are the visuals on your screen. This is somewhere close to the government house around the railway area. Marching on the street ahead, I guess, to the government house. They say they are in solidarity with the governor over this. We have the Organized Labor Youth Group, National Council of Nigerian Youths and all of that, all coming together to show solidarity. The labor unions as well as saying they are grateful to the governor for the 100,000 naira bonus for Christmas, and they also came to thank him. So those are visuals you're seeing, and that's going to form our conversation because it appears there is still more to come as far as that resolution is concerned. I'm being joined on the program from Port Harcourt via Zoom by the chairman of the Trade Union Congress to have this conversation, Mr. Ikechukwu Onyefuru. Mr. Ikechukwu, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you very much for having me, and compliments to our viewers.
Also have with me a journalist and former spokesperson to Nigeria's Vice President, Mr. Laolu Akonde. Mr. Laolu, thank you for coming on the program, sir.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right, let's start with Port Harcourt, Mr. Onyefuru. Tell us the intent of today's solidarity march.
Thank you very much, and just to concur with you that organized labor in Rivers State today had to do a solidarity march in support of our executive governor, His Excellency Fubara, GSSRS, who actually set a new record because Rivers State workers for the last 16 years has never had any governor who gave us Christmas bonus. The last governor who gave us Christmas bonus was over 16 years ago, and that was His Excellency Sir Dr. Peter Odili, who actually gave us 20,000 at that time. But we have a governor today who actually has demonstrated that he's a labor-friendly governor, and he has granted 100,000 Christmas bonus to Rivers people. So we felt that is something we needed to bring to fore and thank him especially for that. More so, considering the fact that for the first time in history of Rivers State, we have a governor who has come up to begin to think about the middle class, the low-income earners, and just about 2 weeks ago, he flagged off a 20,000 housing units with end-to-end completion date of 3 years, targeting low-income earners, and is something that has ever happened in the history of Rivers State. Is something that workers are happy about because he has also developed a template that will ensure that the target low-income earners are the ones that will actually benefit from these 20,000 housing units. In addition to that, we have a governor who has the mindset to work for people, the mindset to look after workers, because he was a career civil servant who grew from the rank and file. So he understood and understands the pulse of the workers. And he came on board at a point where we were all struggling in Rivers State, and he granted employment to over 10,000 Rivers people. And not just that he granted employment to over 10,000 Rivers people, he went ahead to promote Rivers people that their promotions were stagnated for more than 8 years. His Excellency Fubara promoted Rivers people and paid backlog of all that they were supposed to have earned as a result of the delayed promotion. It has never happened in the history of Rivers State. He did all that. And then he ranks amongst the first governors in the country after May 29, when federal government arbitrarily removed fuel subsidy and plunged the economy into chaos. Our purchasing power devalued, inflation keeps rising and rising and rising. His Excellency Fubara ranks amongst the first governors that deployed buses free of charge. As we speak in Rivers State, in the streets of Port Harcourt, those buses are fully operational, rendering free transport services to Rivers people. I don't think there is any other state in the country that has such a program. He's doing all this, and then with a lot of of the interest of the workers that he has demonstrated. For example, he paid bursary award to Rivers students for the past 8 years, more than about 8 years now. No single Rivers student received any bursary award. But His Excellency, in his magnanimity, without even Labour coming to say, do this, on his own, on his magnanimity, he has approved and paid bursary award to Rivers students. And this is something we celebrate, because what is worth doing is worth doing well. And when we see a governor that is Labour friendly, that is doing what he's supposed to do, and then why should we not support him? And then you look at even the secretariat, where our state secretariat, where our members work in the public service. That place was an eyesore. For 8 years, that place was neglected to the extent that civil servants come to work and sit under mango trees because there was no light, the utilities not working. But His Excellency Fubara has come now, and the first thing he did was to revamp the federal the state secretariat where our members are working, thereby providing conducive working environment.
Okay, with all these great things you've said about him, there's no way we will not want to know what the perspective of the organized labor, especially the TUC, is concerning his political challenge. The man you are praising and applauding and commending is undergoing some political challenge, which you're aware of. And the 8-point resolution right now is dividing the polity for and against, polarizing the system instead of resolving it as a truce. I don't know what the perspective or the position of the trade union is on this particular issue.
Thank you very much. We, as a Labour Center, we remain non-partisan. We are political. We do not participate in politics, and that is our position. We are involved in this whole political quagmire to the extent that the actions of the political gladiators is now impacting on our members. For example, the House of Assembly complex, we have parliamentary workers there, and we have our members who belong to the union there. As we speak, they do not have any office to go to work every day. Their mental state is impacted. They wake up in the morning, they don't know where to go. And we have started a process to engage His Excellency to say, please support us to provide an alternative, suitable workspace for this category of people. So to the extent that the actions and inactions of the political gladiators in River State is impacting us, we have now come out to say, no, we will not fold our hands and allow these actors to continue to impact workers and expose workers to avoid them.
All right, Mr. Oyeforo, I may have to butt in as quickly because I have Mr. Laolu condescending. Mr. Laolu, I know you've been following us on this particular journey of River State even before the truce was released to the public. I'm thinking now that you're seeing what is going on, what do you make of it?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a no-brainer that we have to move our political reality, I mean, as we see in Rivers, and generally in this country, towards more of the people interest. Now, there is a place indeed for godfathers. There is a place for senior political, where they call them gladiators, who have a lot of influence on the system because of their experience, of the positions they have held before. But we have to move our politics towards more people interests. It's ridiculous when you have the individual differences, in this case between a godfather and a godson, directly obstructing public interest, directly obstructing the Constitution, directly obstructing the electoral mandate. Yes, it is true, and everybody knows it, that Governor Fubara was supported, you know. As a matter of fact, Mr. Nyesom Wike orchestrated his emergence. You could even say that he was completely unknown in the political circle until, you know, Wike brought him. But guess what? The moment the man put his hand on the Bible, or whether it's the Quran, I think in Rivers it's the Bible, and he swore to an oath, and he became the governor, the moment the people in a popular election goes out and say that this is the guy that we want as governor, that person has become a constitutional creature, as it were. That person has become a creature of public interest. So there has to be a limit to how you play your hand as a godfather. Some of the things that is happening in Rivers State couldn't have happened in a place like Lagos State, in 1999 to 2007, or even up to 2015. Not because the godfather then didn't have disagreement with the godson. They had, even significant disagreement. But this thing was managed. It was managed carefully in a way that it didn't get to this point. And that's the message we are trying to send to Mr. Wike. That look, you have to manage this situation. You are the senior partner. It is getting ridiculous. And even for the president, I hope that the president is going to step back from that so-called directive, after the meeting. It is outrageous. I mean, it is completely outrageous to have that kind of resolution even brought to the public place. It is annoying to our sense as a people, as free people. We're not slaves of politicians, for God's sake. We have a constitution. And this is the basis of the president being in office. It's the basis of the governor being in office. It's the basis of Mr. Wike being a minister, of being a governor. That is what unites us. And that is what defines the public interest. And so it's right time that we begin to talk to ourselves seriously that if we want this country to progress, politicians must begin to act more in the direction of public interest. I'm not saying that, politicians don't have their games.
No. Land on your thought. Land on your thoughts. Just 10 seconds, Mr. Akonde. Land on your thoughts.
So we're not saying that politicians don't play games everywhere. I mean, we all see what happened in the United States with President Trump and all of that. Politicians will do their own thing every time. But we cannot have a situation where their games and their interest is now meant to be superimposed in a very blatant way against public interest. Come on, we have to change the narrative of this country, and this is how to do it, is by pushing our politics more towards public interest, more towards the people who voted in the election.
All right, gentlemen, we're totally out of time. Mr. Laolo Akonde, thank you so much for your perspective on this particular issue. And I know, as I said, we've been on this even before the resolution was approved and finally released. Mr. Ikechukwu, unfortunately, we can't take your last thought because I'm told that we're totally out of time. But I must thank you. Is the Chairman, Trade Union Congress of Rivers State. Thank you, Mr. Onyefuru, as well as Mr. Laolo Akonde, a journalist and public affairs analyst, as well as the former spokesperson to the former vice president. Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you.
Thank you.